What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video, we got some saucy Spring Cup gameplay with a Pokemon that we all know about, but with a fast move that nobody's expecting. Metal Claw on Ferrothorn, with Metal Claw being a move that gets pretty okay energy generation and some okay damage. It's not something to write home about. Bullet Seed is typically preferred. However, this will allow Ferrothorn to rip through fairy types in this format. Backing up this Mawile, or backing up this Ferrothorn, is a Fire Fang Shadow Mawile. You could run it on Astonish if you like. Really dealer's choice there. And then the third is going to be a Shadow Galarian Weezing, which is just a strong safe switch, to say the least, here in this format. However, we're going to be running it with Brutal Swing in this case. You could run it with Overheat, whatever you prefer. Depends on how many TMs you want to give up. If you want to give up none, run what you have. If you want to give up 35 just to try to get one move change, then go ahead and change it. But either way, we're going to get into these games here. I'm a bear in the Spring Cup, looking to run some hot Ferrothorn action into this meta. Let's go ahead and see the first move. And Klefki is going to be our first victim, and then comes the Mawile to start fire fanging down this poor sack of keys. Now, I almost think we could have gone potentially for a power-up punch, but I don't think it would have been enough. So Flash Cannon's going to get that shield, and Mawile's going to get a full farm down, and opponent really can't swap out of whatever they bring in here, but at the same time, neither can we. So opponent's going to come back in with that Lapras, and Lapras is going to have a tough time dealing with a once or twice, maybe thrice boosted Mawile by the time it leaves this matchup, and they're just going to go full send this player off. I don't hate that we're full sending play rough here, to be completely honest. They may expect it to be another power punch, and they do! And they said, not today, Tentacruel is going to come in, and now this is looking kind of, oh, okay. All right, anyway. Weezing is going to be in the back to be able to do a little bit of damage, but we're going to be seeing the Ferrothorn come in here and look to try to Metal Claw its way up to a charge move that'll matter against Tentacruel. Going to let the first move go. These moves are all resisted. Opponent likely is going to shield at this Power Whip. They have to shield something. Power Whip is going to get that shield. Would have done enough to knock out. You see the energy, like Bullet Seed is significantly better for energy here. But Metal Claw actually has fast move pressure, which is very important if you ask me, to be able to handle some of these matchups. And the opponent just decides that it's over because they didn't even see the third Pokemon yet. And that's going to be a good game well played. Game 2, Ferrothorn into another, another one. Okay, opponent's going to go into a Mungus here, and running it back the exact same way. In comes Mawile, resisting this entire move set, aside from the Astonish. This foul play is going to chip it just a little bit, but Mawile is going to be able to go for a power punch. Now, they tried to go for one and then the move, which is the good timing. Unfortunately, just like what happens to me almost all the time, the game's just like, nah. You just go for another fast move, because that's what we want you to do. Anyway, broken game aside, the switch is obtained here, which is great for the Ferrothorn that is still sitting here, getting that alignment. Now the opponent comes in and Cacturn, and they get hard countered by the Weezing. Oh no, dude. Going for this Brutal Swing, I mean, they have to shield it something, but I feel like that they probably should just go for the Sludge. It's just one more Fairy Wind for the first, and still the same to the second. So that Trailblaze, though, this is one of those moments where I realize just how decent Cacturn is, how much damage it does to the Weezing with that Trailblaze. It's quite insane. Opponent's going to come back in with that Tentacruel. Ferrothorn is the only Pokemon remaining in the game. But it doesn't matter because we just get to a couple of Thunder. The opponent goes for the Acid Spray bait, and I don't think I would have shielded that even if I was expecting anything else. Opponent not gonna like that Thunder, though, and immediately gets just completely just like, no, dude. Just, no. They got Thunder, no. Next game up, Galissapod. I mean, no shielding is the move there, because if they throw Power Whip, then, you know, you have a chance to win the game, but at the same time, it's not likely, with not with that matchup. But the Ferrothorn is going to be locked in the lead here against Galissapod. I don't know if we're going to try to switch, but we're going for that Thunder and seeing if it connects. The opponent perhaps thinking this might just be a Power Whip. They live this. Thunder getting nearly the KO here. Metal Claw is just being underwhelming as a resisted move here. But X-Scissor is going to nearly take out the Ferrothorn, and now Weezing can come in, and you don't even know what's in the back, unfortunately. But you have to hope that there's no ground types. Oh no, dude. This is where Astonish on the Mawile would come in very handy here. Fire Fang is not going to get us anywhere in this matchup, unfortunately. Dynamic Punch is going to clap the cheekies off of that poor Mawile, and now it's going to come down to whether or not we're going to be able to get rid of the opponent's Poliwrath and the Quagsire with this Weezing, by the way. Now, unfortunately, with one shield, I don't really think there's much hope, especially not after an Icy Wind. You gotta hope that you're gonna be able to do enough damage with these brutal swings. I would like to have seen here personally a undercharge or potentially a huge overfarm. They had just on that Icy Wind. A lot more farm could have been gathered, or trying to at least get the last shield by throwing the sludge when they get to the move. But in hindsight, always harder to see whether or not those things are the way to go. But in just as I do when I shoutcast games, if I can point out areas for possible improvement, y'all know I always will. They're just gonna go ahead and no shield, let this go. They're pretty sure it's over. They have 2 moves. Mud Bomb is gonna do more than knock out that Weezing, and that's gonna be a good game well played. Next game up, Credilli. This is a fantastic lead. Much better with Metal Claw, and the opponent staying in, taking that super effective fast move pressure, and able to get to a Rock Tomb here, and they're going to lower the attack. But Ferrothorn's fine with this. This is where you want to take the Rock Tomb, if anywhere, and the opponent's just going to stay in here. So going for 4 and then the move, that is great timing shown by Evabear, going for those forced Metal Claws into this opponent's Credilli, which is a 3-turn move. It's just how the math works out. Gonna be going for another Rock Tomb, though, and unfortunately, that's not gonna do anything in this matchup except for just give the Ferrothorn a couple of debuffs, which we're totally fine with anyway. We are going to go for an overfarm. I love this overfarm here, knowing that they can go for a bunch more since that opponent just threw, and then Power Whip is gonna knock them out. The opponent now comes in with the Mawile, but they have Fire Fang! But wait, there's a plan. You don't safe switch in your Mawile, you get switch on the Mawile, and now with 2 shields, pretty easily and comfortably, should be able to Fire Fang this down, but they're gonna go ahead and no shield the Power Up Punch. That's a risky move, but we're able to get a Power Punch right back at him. However, I don't think that Weezing is gonna be able to fast move down this Mawile. Mawile is gonna do a ton of damage here, and honestly, I think that, this is all resisted energy, man. This sucks. This genuinely sucks. Trying to go for that full farm down, those Fire Fangs really chewing apart at the last second, trying to go for the brutal swing. Oh no, the energy is gone. What's in the back? Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's not a CMP tie for Weezing that it wins. Oh, they lay shield as well. What does the opponent have back there? It's a lantern. Why is the lantern on my screen? Why is this fish here? Get out of my swamp. It's not enough. I hate that it's not enough. Oh. I'm in shambles. Stupid fish. Oh, I hate that. I hate that fish so much, dude. Ah, good game, I guess. Stupid fish. Next game, Weezing. This is exactly what I wanted to see. How much are these going to do? Because the opponent's going to think they can stay in, and then all of a sudden, everything's going wrong. Everything is going wrong. They're going to build up to the overheat. Evabear is going to go ahead and shield, respecting that damage. Opponent has the overheat. They full send it. And then in comes their Ferrothorn. In comes Mawile. The opponent's going to get fast moved to smithereens. And we're going to fire off a power-up punch here, looking to try to get at least one more move in before the opponent can't get. They're not even going to get to a flash cannon here, I don't think. So easy to let. No, they get to the flash cannon that almost knocks out off. And I can't count, apparently, while I'm doing this, but this Weezing is going to take a ton of fast move damage here. And then, honestly, the Ferrothorn could come in if it wants to, and go ahead and... Okay, interesting. I thought the Ferrothorn might come in and shield, but I guess not wanting... You're shielding either way. It doesn't... I mean, okay. Gonna go for the brutal swings here, and then Ferrothorn would have been very happy to see this in the back if it had Bullet Seed. However, now that it doesn't, I'm not so sure. We're gonna go for what could have been a CMP sack swap, which I'm pretty sure Jellicent... I don't know who wins the CMP, to be honest, but Power Whip is going to get this shield, and the opponent now has to send 2 Shadow Balls out, where the Weezing now basically has a move loaded, and is going to be able to react as soon as it comes back in, and we wait to throw, oh no! Overfarm too much! Not being able to get that move off is unfortunate. It's actually, one might call, brutal. Now you have to be able to get to 2 charge moves here before the opponent can get their Jellicent back in. This is going to be a tall order, but we're going to have to see. Throwing right away, giving the opponent a free move is not the play here. This is game losing right here. This could have been a win. This could have been a win. You're going to tell me this could have been a win. This has to be a Surf, and it's not enough. This is a Shadow Ball. It's a loss. Yep. Shadow Ball. Oh, man. A couple of spots that we could have done better, but good game. We see Credilli in the lead again, and in comes the Klefki. Klefki is going to get eaten by this Mawile. It's hungry and wants to freshen up and fire up its food. Well, it eats it. Because Fire Fang does that. You know. It does. Mawile gets the full farm down here, down a shield, but it's not going to matter because Cordilli is not going to be able to farm this down. It is going to need a lot of... Just going for this play rough here has got to be the play because they know that the opponent's likely about to throw a move. They won't shield a power-up punch. Do we see another one of these go through? Opponent does not respect it. Mawile comes in to get fully Fire Fang down by the opponent's Mawile. But at this point, man, this is, you just come in with Wheezing, do whatever damage you can, and then the Metal Claws hopefully will do a rest of the opponents on Astonish, though. That is the best possible news that the Ferrothorn could possibly have. Ironhead will get the knockout here, but Astonishes are not going to be enough to do the job. Opponent now needing the Fire Fangs, but not able to use them. Good game and well played. Next game, Ferrothorn against Cacturn. This is a very neutral matchup now because of Metal Claw. Let's see how much damage these... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, so both of them about the same. This could be a dynamic punch. This is a shield. Opponent's going to go for that Trailblaze. And we're safe swapping the Mawile to try and delete it, but the opponent comes in with a Gastrodon. Oh, no. Oh, this game feels very over. The opponent, however, may not respect the damage that comes from this play rough. They do not. Leaves the opponent very low. This is a very comfortable spot for Ferrothorn to be in. This Earth Power will probably do quite a lot of damage. We're just kind of hoping that maybe Wheezing can clutch up in the end game here. Going for that Power Whip. Going for the Power Whip. And Power Whip's going to knock out. Now the opponent comes in with the Mantine. And this is an interesting endgame. So opponent is also going to be able to two-shot. Both of these Pokemon can basically go for 2 charge moves and get a KO here. However, Aerial Ace has much worse pacing, and the opponent is going to have the shield. Cacturn is going to come in and have its move caught. Unfortunately, I think we could have fully farmed down the Cacturn here, but Sludge is going to now get about half of the Mantine's HP that's remaining here, but Brutal Swing is not getting a shield. Opponent says they don't need to shield the first move, and this game is going to pretty much be over. I do not see a win condition for Barbarian this, fortunately, in this game here. The opponent's just going to double shield their Mantine, and even if they do shield this move up, they're just going to get the farm down here, so that's going to take a loss. Good game. Next game, Ferrothorn and a Mawile. Please tell me it's not on Fire Fang, because if it is, this thing is going to rip through the team. It's on Fire Fang, and the opponent comes in with Jellicent, and this actually provides a good opportunity. This Wheezing can flip switch on the Jellicent, potentially. These Brutal Swings are going to add up, and the opponent's going to have to start shielding pretty much right now, getting madly outpaced by these fast Brutal Swings. Opponent shields. Now, this is an easy swap. We get switch advantage here. Mawile can then Fire Fang down the other Mawile, and we're in a much better spot. Now, the opponent, however, is going to be in absolute shambles, man. They're going to go for the Shadow Ball, trying to get that Surf Call correct, or maybe they're on Ice Beam. I have seen some Jellicents on Ice Beam here. Lapras is going to come in and look to try to Psywave down, but unfortunately, Ferrothorn will be very happy to be aligned to this thing, and we're even going to be able to get to another Sludge, but I would have committed the Sludge personally for that extra damage. But the Brutal Swing might get a shield here. Brutal Swing, nope, not going to be enough here, and now the opponent's going to get Psywaves for days. Ferrothorn, however, is going to come in and tank this energy because it doesn't need to do anything else. Mawile, with the shields it has, is going to be fantastic. Ice Beam, going to do it. Waiting the turn there to see if the opponent comes in with their Mawile. However, unfortunately, I think this might be very, very difficult because this Power-Up Punch is going to make a huge difference in this matchup. Mawile looking for the farm down and gets it. However, the difference in HP was enough. Now, oh, is this another Ice Beam? If this is another Ice Beam, this might be trouble. Can this Ferrothorn farm down the Ice Beam versus the Psywave? Oh, no. Oh my god, they did it. Let's go. Oh, the Ferrothorn gets the farm down. That's fantastic. Well played. Holy, that was a clincher, dude. Or a nail biter. Whatever you want to call it. But anyway, there's an Empoleon in the next game, and they're going to swap out. Mantine's going to come in. And Mantine, however, may not expect the unexpected. This trainer is not running your typical everyday got it at the mall Ferrothorn. They have Thunder on this bad boy, and they're going for it. This is a Power Whip and Chip and Dip situation. No, sir. Oh, man, you could have given it to me. Oh, I wanted that so bad. I wanted it so bad. Oh, I've been robbed. Oh, I've been robbed. The wind has been taken out of my sails. I've been robbed. Now what? Now what do you do? Now what do you do? it go! Let's go! They finally went through. They said it's not worth it. In comes the Empoleon. Unfortunately, Empoleon's getting a ton of energy if they don't swap out, so Mowile's gonna come in. And thank goodness this Empoleon's not swapping out, because if it was, this Weezing would be in absolute shambles. These Metal Claws would do so much damage to it. If it is, or it's Steel Wing, I couldn't tell actually. It's Steel Wing, so even still, but Mowile's gonna be able to shrug these off, get to the Power-Up Punch, and this is a super effective boosted Power-Up Punch from a Shadow Mawile. It better do enough to knock out, and it does. And the opponent has a Tropius in the back, and they're gonna have a not so great time. I don't even think they can farm down before they get to this Player Up. They can not! Player Up is reached. Mawile is just gonna shred. I know what I said. Shred through this Tropius, and that's a good game. Well played. Next game up, Ferrothorn. Is it happy or not? We'll see. Tentacruel, it's pretty okay. It's a neutral face, but it's nice because the opponent's going to bring in a Decidueye that is going to get absolutely torn to shreds by Mawile here at Fire Fang. We love to just put Fire Fang, Mawile on whatever we can. We're going to have to end up shielding a Spirit Shackle. However, the opponent is not going to be able, or we're not going to be able to farm down the opponent before they can get to another move, it looks like. So Power Up Punch is going to put them within one range. We could have farmed down. However, the opponent now has a Tentacruel that can get the farm here. However, that energy is not going to go very far into the Ferrothorn. A boosted Play Rough is coming through, and Tentacruel does not need to shield this as it's fairly bulky. Doesn't need to really worry about that damage. And Ferrothorn comes back in now and just completely gets the chance to align Cacturn onto this Weezing, and we're going for the Brutal Swing. Opponent's got to shield something at some point. Brutal Swing's going to get a shield, and then the opponent going for that Hail Mary, Trailblaze. And they let it through. Trailblaze is gonna, okay, this is okay, because you actually get the Cacturn low enough that these Metal Claws will be able to fast move down. And now we're gonna see the fast moves go through, but no, the opponent is able to get to a charge move because of that. Oh no. Dynamic Punch could almost have knocked out if we didn't have a shield, but thankfully we do. And now Ferrothorn can cleanly just go for the Thunder. Go for it, just do it. Let's have a Thunder. This is Blizzard. Surely it's not a Blizzard. Thunder is reached. Thunder is thrown. Ferrothorn is now sitting on the throne. And the opponent now lets out a groan as this match. I don't have anything that rhymes with that, man. That's all good. I got as far as I could. Dr. Seuss did as good as I could. We get a 4-1 though. Finish off that set. That's going to be a good set of battles. Metal Claw Ferrothorn is one of those things that sticks out to me in this cup. Could be good, but also could be just as bad depending on the matchup. But it's a very interesting thing that catches a lot of people off guard. So if you want to try something a little bit saucy, try Metal Claw Ferrothorn. It's interesting. That's going to do it for me for today's video, guys. As always, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.